Will the new and improved Otto Octavius prove to be too much for Peter Parker to handle? Well, let's hop into the pages of Amazing Spider-Man issue number 28 and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up directly from where the last issue left off, you'll recall that Doctor Octopus's tentacles had grown a, conscience for the lack of a better word and ran off, instead of being decommissioned by the good doctor himself. It's where the tentacles went after that's interesting. Well, they looked up Jonah Jameson, aka the same man that they had taken hostage. Not all that long ago at all, a frantic Jameson takes the injured tentacles to Oscorp, where he hopes that Peter and Norman can use their big science brains to fix them. Obviously, Norman thinks this whole thing is absolutely ridiculous, and he wants nothing to do with the tentacles, especially as he has been on the receiving end of them more than a few times over the years himself. Jameson fires back by saying that Norman has made so much of his second chance and is striving for redemption, and shouldn't he offer the same chance to the tentacles, only for Peter to shrug his shoulders and go, yeah, well, he's kind of got you there. Now, what is Octavius doing while all of this is going on? Well, as we check on in with him, he's putting the finishing touches on his brand new super weapon, the Ocktoids. A series of semi-independent death machines that, instead of being hooked into the more sympathetic part of Octavius's mind, these things are connected right to the amygdala, meaning they're fueled entirely by rage. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty cool. They're little tiny octopus robots that come together to make a bigger set of tentacles. Also, for some reason, Kraven the Hunter is there helping Doc Ock test out these new Ocktoids. Apparently it has something to do with the free comic book day issue for Spider-Man Venom, which I did not read. So if you understand this better than me, please sound off in the comment section down below so we can all learn a little something. Now, back over at Oscorp, Jameson is beside himself with worry, so much to the point that Peter just has to ask, why does such a sour guy like him care so much about these tentacles? Well, get this. Turns out the tentacles didn't just show up on Jameson's door last night in need. Apparently they've been showing up a lot at his place over the last couple weeks and months, and Jameson actively started letting them in and taking care of them, basically adopting them like his own personal pet, which, geez, that is both hilarious but also a perfect showcase to just how goddamn lonely Jameson is these days. Now, thanks to the hard work of Norman, the tentacles will live. The former Green Goblin is actually pretty familiar with old Octavius Tech, so the actual repair slash surgery slash whatever you want to call it end up going off without a hitch. Here's the problem though, the second that the tentacles are fit to stand, they end up infecting the Oscorp computer system with some sort of Octavius virus. Yes, that's right, apparently these tentacles were actually sent in as some sort of Trojan horse. Or, I guess Trojan octopus, as the case may be. It's at that very moment Octavius storms the building, making use of his brand new Ocktoids. Which, as we can see, when they're not in their new tentacle form, they actually move independently of Otto himself and do his bidding. Again, pretty clever as far as power upgrades go. Luckily, Spider-Man is there to meet Doc Ock head-on, and if this is going to be a battle of the little tiny robots, thankfully Spider-Man has his own in the form of Bug. Yeah, remember Bug? It's that backpack that he can use sometimes. It came with the new Osborn costume. He used it a lot when he first got the suit, and then he basically hasn't used it for like the last several arcs, so much to the point I forgot he even had it. Sadly though, despite this clever gambit, poor Spider-Man ends up getting overrun by the Ocktoids. Norman, as the Gold Goblin, swoops on in thinking he can make all the difference. Unfortunately, the virus that is affecting his computer systems is extending to his suit as well. Osborn thought that this sort of invasion would be impossible after his last run-in with Chasm, but it seems that Doc Ock prepared for a fight with not only Spider-Man, but Norman too. Actually, in a rather interesting bit of characterization as the comic begins to wind down and Spider-Man and the Gold Goblin are at Doc Ock's mercy, Ock actually refers to Norman as Goblin King, which, if you didn't know, was the moniker that Green Goblin used when he fought the superior Spider-Man. I don't know if this actually means anything or if I'm reading too much into it, but hey, I thought it was interesting. And so that was Amazing Spider-Man issue number 28, everyone, and overall, I mean, it was alright. Didn't knock my socks off or anything, but it wasn't the worst thing ever, which, considering how bad Spider-Man has been since Dark Web, I would call being run-of-the-mill an actual improvement. Once again, the real weakness in this run seems to be that Peter cannot stop being just a minor participant in the book called Amazing Spider-Man. Seriously, take him out of this issue and most of it still ends up happening anyway. Jameson forms a rather unexpected bond with a set of tentacles, again, has nothing to do with Spider-Man. Norman is once again challenged to continue his redemption arc by actually extending redemption to someone, or in this case, something else. Again, barely had anything to do with Peter. And Ock himself stretches his creative muscles by creating a brand new, more deadly set of arms to try and deal with his old wayward set of arms. I guess that kind of has something to do with Spider-Man, but only a little bit. Still, for what it's worth though, Peter wasn't a total jackass this issue for 2 whole issues in a row, so hey, you know what? I think we're actually officially on a roll, everybody. I mean, obviously this could all come to a crashing, screeching, burning halt any minute now, but let me enjoy it while I can. Overall though, I would give this one a 6.5 out of 10. Kinda mediocre, but I will happily take mediocre, forgettable Spider-Man as opposed to the worst thing ever Spider-Man.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.